Have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop? Like even in moments of silence, there's a constant noise inside you. Worries, fears, doubts, anxiety about the future? Now let me ask you honestly, how many times have you tried to handle everything on your own and ended up feeling even more overwhelmed? The truth is, mental peace and lightness of spirit don't happen by accident. They don't simply appear when problems go away. On the contrary, they are built within us, especially when we decide to trust in something greater. Faith is that anchor. Amid life's pressures, uncertainties, and challenges that seem endless, faith becomes a silent refuge, a place where the soul finds rest, even when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. But there's something important you need to understand. Having faith does not mean living without problems. Having faith means knowing that you are not alone in the middle of them. It's believing that every difficulty has a purpose, that every delay may be protecting you from something you cannot yet see, and that even God's silence carries answers, even when you can't hear them yet. How many times have you felt lost, without direction, as if nothing was working? And even then, you kept going. That's not a coincidence. That is strength. And that strength comes from within, but also from your connection with what you believe. When you place your worries in God's hands, something begins to change. Not necessarily around you, but within you. The weight starts to lift. Your mind slows down. Your heart finds room to breathe. Because you begin to understand that you don't need to control everything. And this is one of the greatest challenges in life, letting go of control. We want to understand everything, fix everything, anticipate everything. But the truth is, not everything is in our hands. And when you accept that, peace begins to emerge. Lightness appears when you stop fighting what you cannot change and start trusting the process. But let me be very clear with you now. Faith without action builds nothing. And this is where a key part of your journey comes in, your mental strength. Because it's not enough to believe. You need to sustain that belief every single day, especially when everything seems to be going wrong. Your mind needs to be trained. You need to choose where you place your focus, because whatever you feed grows. If you feed fear, it grows. If you feed insecurity, it grows. But if you choose to feed faith, hope, discipline, and purpose, that is what will strengthen within you. And this is exactly where many people fail. They focus too much on the problem and forget to focus on the goal. They dwell on what's going wrong and fail to see what could go right. And little by little, without realizing it, they begin to create a negative atmosphere within their own minds. Now think about this. How can you expect to build a life of growth if every day you reinforce thoughts of defeat? It doesn't make sense, right? That's why there is a decision that changes everything. Stop giving so much attention to the negative. This doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means not allowing them to dominate your thoughts. You need to learn how to direct your mind, to consciously choose to think about your dreams. Think about your goals. Think about the life you want to build. Because when you do that, something powerful happens. You begin to create your own atmosphere of growth. An internal environment where confidence replaces fear, where clarity overcomes doubt, where faith begins to guide your steps. And let me tell you something very important now. Believing in your dreams is an act of courage, because the world will often try to make you give up. Circumstances will try to stop you. People, sometimes, won't understand you. But even so, you must keep going. And this is where another fundamental pillar comes in. Focus. Without focus, you get lost. Without focus, any distraction pulls you away. Without focus, you start many things, but finish none. Having focus means knowing exactly where you want to go. It means having clarity about your goals. It means waking up every day with direction. But pay attention to this. Focus is not intensity for a short period of time. Focus is consistency over time. It's not about giving everything for a week and then quitting. What builds real results is repetition. It's the small actions done every single day, even when you're not motivated, even when you're tired, even when it feels like nothing is happening. And it is exactly at this point that resilience comes in. Resilience is the ability to keep going, even when it's hard. It's enduring the process. It's understanding that the path to your purpose won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because let me tell you a truth that many people don't accept. The process will test you. There will be days when you doubt yourself, days when you feel like giving up, days when you feel alone. But those are exactly the days that define who you are becoming. You don't grow only in the good moments. You grow, above all, when you decide not to stop. When you continue, even without seeing results. When you believe, even without guarantees. When you persist, even without recognition. That is resilience. And without it, no one reaches their true purpose. Because purpose is not only at the destination. It is in the transformation that happens along the way. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every moment you choose to keep going, all of it is shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you. And when you bring all of this together, faith, mental strength, focus, discipline, and resilience, you become unstoppable, not because nothing will go wrong, but because you learn how to handle anything. You learn to keep your peace, even in chaos. You learn to stay light, even with responsibilities. You learn to keep moving, regardless of the circumstances. And that's when your life truly begins to change. Because change doesn't start on the outside. It starts within, in the way you think, in the way you respond, in the way you believe. So today, I want to invite you to make a decision. From this moment on, take care of your mind, protect your thoughts, nourish your faith, strengthen your discipline, stay focused on your goals, and above all, be resilient. Understand that the process is part of it. That time is part of it. That challenges are part of it. But all of it is leading you to something greater, something you may not yet be able to see, but that is already being built. And when you look back in the future, you will understand. You will realize that every difficult moment had a purpose, that every phase prepared you, and that everything was worth it. Because you didn't give up. You kept going. You believed. And that makes all the difference. May you find peace in your mind, lightness in your spirit, strength in your thoughts, and enough faith to keep going every single day. Because your purpose is closer than you think, and it begins with the decision not to stop. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone. And never forget, your mind is your battlefield, but it can also be your greatest place of victory.